be great.
Sure. So Luxury is doing amazing. She is very bonded with her caregivers. She's learning new things every day, making small phrases, learning new words. She's very active. She's been doing some dance, gymnastics, really enjoying that. I know that she did have some biting issues, and those have decreased. They've lessened a lot. So, some redirection there has really worked, as well as staying on a routine for her. So she's doing great. Um, Mom, we hadn't had really much communication since the beginning of October. I believe October 9th, she did have a virtual visit with Luxury, and then contact kind of cut out until last Thursday. I did supervise a virtual visit between Mom and Luxury. Then Mom stated she had a new phone, so I did email her my contact information since I'm covering for Michelle while she's out. But I have not gotten a phone call or text from her yet.
Ms.
And
Cook, are we needing drug screens on Mom? It's been a while.
yeah, the last one we had was July 24th of this year, so I would request that we get both a UA and a hair follicle today.
Okay. What about other services with Mom? Has she made any more headway on anything?
To my knowledge, no. I was hoping to get in contact with her before we came to court today, but I know that she had completed counseling, but she wasn't able to return to the Padre program for parenting because she did miss too many of those meetings. And Padre also does some drug classes as well, so she hasn't done any of those as far as I know here
On,
recently.
on the report, it does state that she did complete 6 hours of parenting while she was incarcerated. Is that correct? You have the certificate?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay. Um, were you able to have a conversation with her about driver's license, transportation issues?
I have not.
Outside of drug screens and cooperation, getting back in touch with Mom, is there anything else you need to ask for in regards to Mom today?
Not in regards to Mom.
Okay. Um, what about Mr. Harris? Any other communication with him? Is he starting to work on anything?
No, at this point, he is still not willing to be placement for Luxury, and I believe does not really want that relationship. I guess there are some legal issues with some people in the home, and he's not willing to resolve those to have Luxury, Luxury in his home or placed with him. So,
Have you discussed with Mr. Harris if he's wanting an attorney in this case or willing to do the paperwork for an attorney?
I personally have not.
Okay. If we could check with him, see what he wants to do. We have a final coming up in January, I believe. If he is wanting an attorney, we need to get that set up.
Yes, I will.
Thank you, ma'am. Anything in regards to him that you need to request to the court today?
No, not today.
Okay. Anything else to update the court on?
No updates. I know that we were hopefully wanting to ask for a possible mediation in this case before the final.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Hey, Ms. Lucero?
Your Honor, I don't have any questions for Ms. Cook at this time. I think I can clarify some of the ongoing services with my client here in a bit. So
Yeah, go right ahead.
can I go ahead and, well, does Stacy have questions, I guess, or for
I was just going to ask if we had any information on where Mom is living, but that sounds like that should be covered by Miss Lucero.
yes.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see what she's got to say. And then, of course, obviously, Ms. Valley, you'll have time to ask any other questions.
Okay. Your Honor, I call Alyssa Martinez.
All right, Ms. Martinez, I need you to unmute. And if you've got your camera, okay. And if you'll unmute for me.
A peaceful update breaks apart as troubling gaps and silent surface. 5 weeks of no contact turns calm into serious concern. She speaks with hope, plans, and promises of change. But instability quietly follows every word she says.
All right, raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth today.
Solemnly swear.
All right. Okay, Ms. Lucero, you may proceed.
Okay, Alyssa, you heard Ms. Cook stated that she was able to contact you last Thursday, or y'all made contact. She supervised a visit. You have her contact information. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I did
Okay.
receive an email.
Okay, all right. And so you've completed your counseling. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then what's going on with the Padre program? Did you get kicked out? Are you back in, or what's the status there?
So I talked to the lady that was officiating it, and she said that she was going on maternity leave and that I would have to contact somebody else for those last 2 classes. I believe it's 1 class, and then like the final, I guess like we have to meet and she does like an assessment. And
Okay.
that's all I'm lacking on that. And so I'm going to have to contact, I guess, somebody else because she's with child.
Okay.
She's taking maternity leave. So I believe his name is Anthony, that runs the other part of the Padre program. So I'm going to get in contact with him. Hopefully tonight I can be in on a class because my classes were on Tuesday. And then
Okay.
I just talked to housing and I got a voucher for that. So I'm needing to get on some kind of phone call or something and talk to some landlords, and I have $1,800 for housing voucher.
Okay, and you got that? Is that housing voucher through like HUD? Is that what that is?
It's from a victims compensation program because I'm a victim of domestic violence. I suffered from domestic violence, so it's $1,800, and it goes towards. It could be 3 months rent if the rent is $600, or if say the rent is $1,000
Mhm.
and the deposit's $800, then that covers that. So it's just kind of like a relocation fee.
Okay, all right. And then currently, Alyssa, where are you? Are you living here in Amarillo? And if so, where? I mean, you don't have to give the address on here, but are you living somewhere here in Amarillo?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Are you living with family or friends at this time, or with who?
Yes. Yeah, I'm staying with friends right now. I'm currently waiting on this voucher so I can get into my own housing. So I'm hoping within, a week or so I'll be in my own place.
Okay, and you need to make sure that you keep in touch with Ms. Cook if she's still on the case, or Michelle Slagle,
Okay.
so they'll know where
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
at. Because once you get into a home, you understand that they have to come out and check it out and things like that, right?
Yes, ma'am. I
Okay.
cannot wait.
Okay, and then
I'm
now,
excited.
do you have transportation now?
Yes, ma'am. I have transportation now. I'm enrolled in school. I'm trying to complete these services as quickly as possible. Other than the Padre class, I think all my services are complete unless I need to do something else. So,
Okay.
yeah, I think all I lack right now is stability.
Okay, and then you understand that the judge is likely going to order that you go drug screen today, and now that you have transportation, you make sure that you get there today. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I will go to a drug test today at Care Express. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Your Honor, I'll pass the witness.
Ms. Martinez, do you have a driver's license now?
No, ma'am, but I actually had some income tax that I needed to file from previous years, and I have been approved for my income tax, and I'm waiting any day now. It should be about $3,000, and with that income tax, if I don't already have a place, then I'm gonna have the opportunity to move, and I'm also gonna get my driver's license. That's gonna be priority number 1. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you have some surcharges you need to pay. Is that the deal?
Yeah, my license is actually suspended right now, so I'm gonna have to talk to a judge about an occupational license. I've already got all the information, so I pay, I think, $200 reinstatement fee, and then I have to retest both physical and a written, and that's about $400. And then as long as the judge grants me an occupational license or a hardship license, then I should be able to get a driver's license within hopefully within a couple of weeks. They say it takes about 21 days, but I'm about 7 days in. So any day now, I should be getting that deposit from the IRS. So it's mostly what I'm waiting on.
Are you working?
I'm currently not working. I'm enrolled in school, so I'm trying to like maybe take a semester where I focus on school with all this going on. I don't know. I just kind of want to do something outside of going to work every day. Like, I think if I go to school and if I can maybe get like an associate's degree or some kind of certificate before baby gets back, I feel like this is the perfect opportunity because, I am able to kind of focus on, me right now and getting myself together.
Where are you in school?
So I actually enrolled last semester, and then my father just passed away. My dad passed away in October, and he was my last remaining parent. I don't have any grandparents or any parents now, so I took that a little hard. That's why I kind of checked out for a little bit because he was a big support system, and it meant a lot to me to try to get baby back. And I was hoping to do that before he passed, and I wasn't able to accomplish that. So it's still very much a goal of mine. But yeah, my father passed away, and I was the one that had to plan everything. So, I kind of took a little mental break and, just try to collect myself. And, this is the most important thing that I have going on in my life, but it's not the only thing. And so, I have to make sure that mentally I'm able to do what I need to do each day. So, yeah, I don't think school was right then because I was going to go in the fall, but I'm hoping that in this winter or like by January in the spring that I can be enrolled in classes. And I actually want to do like some type of counseling. I think that I'd be good at it.
Well, let me back up. So your intent is to enroll for the spring semester?
Well, I'm hoping that I can be in school by January. So I don't know if that's like, yeah, I guess that's the spring. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where are you going to enroll in school?
Amarillo College. It'll be Amarillo College more than likely. I was thinking maybe Clarendon or Phillips if I do online. But yeah, more than likely it'd be Amarillo College, and it'd be probably for like some kind of counseling degree or something like that, which is a 2-year program.
Okay.
Judge, I got a few questions.
How do you plan to pay for school? Are you going to get student loans, grants?
Yeah. I've already I actually already enrolled. So like I was enrolled and I did my financial aid, and all I had to do was pick a program and a college, and then they dispersed that money. But at the time, my dad, he's been really sick for a couple of years now, but like his health had started deteriorating more and more, and his weight and everything, had dropped. And so for a couple of weeks I was just taking care of him, and now he's gone. So we took 2 weeks to plan his funeral, and we just got done with that like 2 weeks ago. So I've been kind of dealing with that. So I decided that, yeah, school would probably need to wait till January. And then also I didn't know if I was going to need to do like a rehab or I wasn't sure because, I know that y'all are going to require some things from me, and I wanted to keep my availability open.
All right. So let me just ask you outright. I mean, I'm still trying to kind of get my handle on what your plan is and how you're going to make these things happen. And I understand your mental health is very important. You need to take care of it. But I also know that sometimes as parents, we don't always get to just take a mental health day, sadly, but that's the truth. And so what I need to know is how are you going to provide stability for luxury? And the biggest issue here, and what I'm sitting here looking at and why I'm asking you these questions, is because we have a final in your case coming up January 29th. That's right around the corner.
Yes, ma'am.
So I need to know, there's got to be a plan in place here. What does this look like? So,
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so I have housing. I have an $1,800 housing voucher
I've heard,
to get
okay, hang
to get
on,
me in a place.
hold on.
And then
Hang on.
A heartbreaking loss explains her emotional collapse. Sympathy rises, yet questions still refuse to fade. Pressure mounts until the truth finally slips out. The relapse confession shatters any remaining trust.
The court reporter cannot take you and me talking at the same time.
Okay.
Okay? So, if you applied for financial aid back in the fall, you may have to re-up some stuff on that again for the spring semester. It doesn't necessarily mean it rolls forward. So you're telling me you're going to rely on financial aid, school loans, possible grants, that kind of thing, but you need to have a job. I don't care whether you're in school or not. You're grown up now. You need to have a job. School's great, but it just can't be your only occupation when you have a child. So you really need to start looking for stable employment, and it's important for a lot of reasons. So I'm just telling you straight up, that's going to be important. Getting the driver's license is going to be important, and we're running out of time. So let me ask. I mean, it's the elephant in the room. Let me ask: have you used recently? Because I'm sending you to drug screen today. I'm going to find out one way or the other. So, have you used recently?
I did relapse. Yes, I did relapse. Yes, ma'am.
When did you last use?
It was probably the 18th of October.
Okay, so very recently.
Yes.
What did you use?
Cocaine.
Anything else?
It was like in a pill form, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
It should show up as cocaine or meth, but it was in a pill form, so you never know what you get in those instances.
Yeah, and that's pretty scary, isn't it, when you think about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how many people die of fentanyl overdosing when they take one of those pills that they don't know what's in it?
Yes, ma'am.
Lots. Okay, so I am going to send you a drug test today. We know that's going to come back positive, but we're dangerously close to this deadline. So I'm going to give you some good advice right now. I'm going to tell you that you need to spend some serious time talking with Ms. Lucero about what your options are right now. I'm strongly going to suggest you consider inpatient treatment since you're waiting on housing, since you're waiting, you don't have a job. I mean, now's the time to do it.
Yeah, I'm on the list.
Everybody's going to be looking at that, and everybody's going to be looking at, what's the relapse prevention plan going to be? I mean, there's a lot of planning that needs to happen between now and January 29th. And a lot of that stuff you don't have complete control over when it happens and how it happens. So, you need to have a very heart-to-heart discussion with Ms. Lucero about where you stand right now and where we go from here.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Lucero, did you have anything else today?
No, Your Honor, I just wanted her to let the court know kind of where she's at, because I think with the switch over from Ms. Slagle to Ms. Cook, I think that the Padre program kind of was what the update on that was, and her transportation, things like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Ms. Zavala.
Ms. Martinez, it sounds like you had a lot going on in October. Is that why there was no visit with Luxury for about 5 weeks?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And before that, is it correct that visits have been pretty sporadic?
Yes, I haven't had a phone. The times I've had a phone that's worked and it gets broke, or, I'm usually on Wi-Fi, so that's been mostly the reason. There's been a couple of times where Miss Slagle wouldn't send the link until like right before the visit, and I wouldn't receive it until the visit was already over. So there's been a couple of times where that's happened as well. It's not always me. There's been times where Miss Slagle didn't even send me a link, or me and placement was on the call and she wasn't. So,
But for the
I'm
last
not
5 weeks
perfect.
or so, you've been
Yes,
out of touch.
yes. The last 5 weeks or so, I've been
I
out of touch.
I pass the witness.
Okay,
Judge, I got just a couple of questions.
sure, go ahead.
Ms. Martinez, you stated a while ago your last use was in October, but your last drug screen was in July.
Yeah.
Why were you not screening from July till up to now?
A lot of times I wasn't getting the message on time. I had transportation issues. I was staying off of I-40 and Eastern, and I was having trouble getting to and from work. Like, I'm not guaranteed a ride no matter what it is. I don't have any family. I don't really have anybody that has stability or anybody that, looks out for me. So, unless I walk or unless Lorraine or Michelle could take me, a lot of times I was missing those drug screens. There's been a couple of times where I've missed counseling and stuff because, you know, transportation.
And I understand that, but you're an adult, correct?
Yes.
And you need to figure out a way to get these things done.
Yeah. You got to understand too, like, I don't have any hair. Like, my hair is fried. Like, I get hair. I've been doing hair follicles and drug screens for 3 years. Like, I have no hair left. Every time I'm supposed to do a drug screen, that's my hair. That's
Well,
part of who I am. Like, I realize that
I'm
y'all
going to
don't have to
object,
do
Your
this.
Honor. Object at this point, Your Honor.
Sustain the objection. Ms. Martinez, then quit using drugs and we'll quit testing your hair. It's that simple. Okay, Mr. Trout, any further questions?
Yes, ma'am. You said you're living with family or friends. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm here and there. I'm like honestly homeless. I slept in my car last night. I mean,
Well,
I'm literally like without stability. That's the main thing is I don't have a home.
I
So
understand.
yeah, it's kind of hard for me to do anything. I can't even
Well,
shower most of the time.
you're
But
stating
yeah,
you have, Miss, hold on. You're stating you have transportation issues, yet you're sitting
well,
in a car right now.
I just got this car. I just got this car. I've had this car for like 2 weeks now. My
Okay.
dad didn't even get to see my car. He passed away
You,
before.
Ms. Martinez, you understand you just stated you're also trying to get your license back and that you have surcharges. You understand if you get caught driving without a license right now, you're going to have more surcharges and more
Yeah,
things. Okay.
yeah. That's why I usually don't drive. I sit in my car and I slept in it last night, but generally speaking, I don't drive most of the time. I don't really have anything to do. So, I mean, I'm just living in it right now. I should have bought a house, but I didn't know my dad was going to die. So I kind of got the car first
Objection, Your
because we both
Honor.
needed one.
Non-responsive at this point.
Sustained.
Okay. I have nothing further, Your Honor. We'll pass the witness.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Lucero?
Your Honor, all I was going to clarify, there have been issues, and I know it's her responsibility to get to and from her services, but there have been times where we're in an email chain, and she a couple of times that I'm aware of that that transportation was supposed to be set up, and it wasn't. So I'm not blaming all her no-shows on the department, anything like that, but there has been transportation issues. That's all I have.
Can you get there today before 4 o'clock, Ms. Martinez?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Okay, Ms. Zavala, you have a recommendation today?
Yes, Your Honor. Luxury's doing great in her placement, and I do recommend that continue.
Okay, thank you. All right, then I'm going to order Ms. Martinez to go hair and UA for us today before 4 p.m. Failure to appear will be deemed a positive result. Failure to give a correct sample is deemed a positive result. I'm just reminding you of that, so be sure that you go prepared to test. All right, I'll continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I will continue the child's current placement. I find there would be a continuing danger to return the child to either parent at this time. I also find that neither parent is in compliance with their family plan of service. We are set for final January 29th of 2026. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. I am going to order you all to mediate before, let's say, January 20th.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I'm just making sure I heard you correctly. Did you say you're finding that both parents are in non-compliance?
I find that they are not in compliance. I mean, Mr. Harris, we know, you know, he's indicated he isn't going to do anything for us, so he's clearly not in compliance. Mom has worked in services, but she's also just admitted to me that she's used cocaine within just the last few weeks, and she hasn't drug tested for us since July. I feel like we could have somehow gotten her there sometime between July and now for a drug screen if she'd really wanted to test. So, she's not completed services, and sadly, but part of her family plan of service is stable employment and stable housing, and we haven't achieved that either, which are both huge concerns to me at this stage of this case. And as it stands at this moment, I'm not seeing extraordinary circumstances to grant an extension in the case. So, we're rapidly running out of time.
Your Honor, I would like to ask.
I want her to talk to you, Ms. Lucero. I mean, I want her to understand exactly what her options are at this point.
Okay, I would like to ask a question, Your Honor, before we log off. As far as if she, I know housing is a concern, because we're way into the case. But if she were to, in the court's view, would it be better for her if she needs help to go ahead and go to a rehab facility as opposed to focusing on getting a home at this time? So I mean that way when I discuss with her what her options are, I can guide her. Because I know that. Go ahead.
My advice to her was she might want to consider that since she doesn't have her housing yet. And I don't know when she's going to get that voucher, and if I think you just would have to discuss with her, if she goes to inpatient, is it going to affect that voucher? I don't think it would. I don't think it would change anything. Outpatient, intensive outpatient is another option, that she could consider. I'm supportive of both of those options.
Okay.
But it's we've been having people on wait lists for these things, and so I just think if she's going to do that, she needs to be looking hard at what she wants to do pretty quick. And if she can't get a bed in an inpatient, then I think trying to get in an outpatient program would be better use of her time if she could start that right away.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
And I will say, Ms. Martinez, I am not unsympathetic to your loss of your dad. I'm sorry for that. But it's like I said to you, it's just about mental health. As a parent, you don't always get to take that break when you really want one or when you really need one. And that's part of what we are trying to accomplish with you, is to get you in a position where when life throws, curveballs at you, that you can still stand on your own 2 feet and take care of your child. That's just all part of the process. So I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to kick you while you're down, so to speak. But it's just where we've got to be we got to be in a different situation to know that Luxury will be in a safe, stable environment. She's 2. She can't take care of herself.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'll see y'all back January 29th. Go mediate before January 20th. Miss Katie, do we know who's up on that list? Can tell them right now.
Yeah, Judge, give me 1 second. I was in the middle of.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're okay. Hold on 1 second.
You can email it out to everybody. That's fine.
Okay, thank you.
We need to continue to move through our docket. So, all right. So she'll get in touch with y'all.
Homeless, sleeping in a car with no real lifeline. Her reality is far worse than anyone imagined. The judge draws the line and protects the child. Final warnings echo as time runs out fast. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.